Good day, everybody. I hope that you are well, and I also hope that you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 8 English lesson on usage errors. And before we start, we're going to log on to aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged on to aplusstudents.ca with our username as well as our password, and then we're going to select the subject of English Language Arts. Grade grade 8. And then we're going to select the chapter of usage errors. All right. So our chapter will be usage errors. Our subject is English Language Arts. Grade 8. And then the lessons that we are focusing on under the chapter of usage errors is to correct errors with signs, and to correct errors in everyday use. That is going to be our lessons for today. All right. So when it comes to usage errors, right? So we have our different signs, and with our different signs, you can have, let's say, for example, one specific word that might mean the same as another word, right? Or it doesn't mean the same way, but the word might be the same, but the meaning is different. So when it comes to usage errors, right, you need to know which specific word to basically, or let's say which error to correct within that specific sign. So we're going to look at a list of signs, right? And then we're going to have to try and correct all of those signs based on the wording of that specific sign. And we call that usage errors. All right. So now we're going to correct signs with errors, right? Or errors with sign. If we look at all these signs, right, you will find different words, or let's say you'll find a sign, but then there will be one or two of the words on that sign that is incorrect, right? So with usage errors, right, you need to specifically look at the word, pardon, and then you need to correct the sign on that, or let's say the wording on that specific sign. So basically, when it comes to usage errors, right, remember when it comes to English, we have lots and lots of different words, right? We have such a lot of words that look the same, that sound the same, that is spelled similarly the same way, right? but they have the different roles and they have the different meanings, right? And you're going to have to know how to choose the correct word based on the role that let's say that name the meaning of that word is. And before we even go to the sign that we see over here, right? Sometimes you'll find words that look the same, but then the meanings are different. Like look at the word accept, right? Oopsie. Accept and the word accept. If you look at these two words, right, usually it sounds the same. But if you look at the first word, accept, the first word accept is like if I give you something and then you're accepting it, you are receiving something, right? It's like you're saying, I accepted the gift. So you're receiving the gift. And then if you look at the next word, this word is not anything to do with receiving a gift. This word accept means excluding something. So this one means receiving a gift, and this one is excluding something. And sometimes within our errors, right, when it comes to usage errors, because these two words are kind of similar in the sense of sound, or even in the sense of spelling, it's almost similar also. So now people get that wrong. They get it, they are confused with the meaning or when to use that two words. If we look at another example, right? Um, think of advice and advise with an S. Listen to even how I say it. The first one is advice, and the second one is advise. If you look at the first one, the meaning of the first one, advice with a C. It's like, for example, you coming to me and you're asking me advice. Like I'm having a problem, blah, blah, blah. What can I do? And I am giving you advice. I'm telling you my opinion based on it. But then we have the other word advise with an S. And this word advise with an S, right? It's where you're also offering advice to someone. It's like a verb. I advised her to stay away from whoever, right? So these are usage areas where we have words that are sometimes either it looks the same or it's spelled the same or it sounds the same, and now we think that the role of these words are also the same, but yet the meanings are different. So you need to be able to know the meaning of these words in order to know when and how to use a specific word, right? So that is usage errors. So now back to our example, right? Here it says correct one error. Welcome back, students. And yes, if we look at this word welcome, welcome is written wrong because welcome is written as if we are saying, oh, I'm well, and you. That is how they wrote that word welcome. So if we were to correct that word, then we would say it is welcome back, students. So well done. Welcome is incorrect. So well done. All right. If we look at the next one, it says shirts two for the price of one. Shirts, two for the price of one. What do you think is the error within that sentence? Or that's that, not sentence, on that board or something. It says shirts, two for the price of one. We need to select the or correct that one error. Yes, well done. So if we look at that, at this board, right, it says shirts, two for the price of one. And two within the sentence, this word two, right? It's like saying, I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to, But the word that we are specifically looking for that we need to correct is it's not two, but we need to use the word two for the price of one. It's like saying it's the number two, right? And the number two we write TWO. So shirts two for the price of one, not TO. Because that word two, TO, is like saying I'm going to Exactly. So well done. So two, this should be our correct word. So well done. All right. If we look at the next one, it says professional signs and lettering. Professional signs and lettering. What is our error over there? Professional signs and lettering. What do you think is our error within that sentence? All right. And if we look at that word, right? If we look at that sign, professional signs, here it says that is our word, signs, right? Because now they're saying, remember, they're advertising that if you come to their place, they will, for example, do different signs and lettering, right? So, which means that it needs to be signs more, it's like plural, it should be plural, signs. Once we have an apostrophe over there, right? Once the apostrophe is there, then the apostrophe shows possession. It's almost like an apostrophe shows that it belongs to someone. So, which means that it should be professional signs. It's like more than one sign and lettering, right? Because once we have that apostrophe and the S, then that shows position. It means it is belonging to someone, it's belonging to something, right? So signs should be plural form, and we just put an S without the apostrophe. All right. So now let's go to our test where we are going to correct errors with signs. All right, let's look at this one. All dogs must wear leashes or leashes. Leashes. Which one is correct? It says all dogs must wear leashes. We need to correct our one error. Is it dogs, option one, or dogs 19? Which one is correct? So we need to choose the correct option. All right. And if we choose the correct one, then yes, we will say it's option one because dogs, this needs to be plural form without that apostrophe. It should only be DOGS, not DOG apostrophe S. Because once we have the apostrophe, then it means that it's almost like saying it is the dog's. It's the dog's bone. It's the dog's bowl, for example. Because when we have the apostrophe, then the apostrophe shows position, right? And we don't show position in that sentence. We want it to be plural, more than one dog. So option one is correct. Well done. All right. It says, warning, do not feed the bears. Warning, do not feed the bears. What do you think is the correct error with what is the error within that sentence or within that sign? And if we look at over here, it says warning, do not feed the bears. Is it option one, bears, or bears 17, option two? Which one is correct? And if we were to choose the correct option, right? Then, firstly, if we look at the word bears, right? Bears is spelled incorrectly because it shouldn't be BARES. bears are written Bears, right? So which means that we are going to choose option one. Yes, well done. Option one is correct because that word bears is it's spelled wrongly or incorrectly. Welcome back, students. Welcome back, students. We need to correct that one error. Welcome back, students. Is it option one or option two? Welcome back, students. All right, and if we choose the correct option, right? And then, yes, we're going to say it's option one. That is the correct one because welcome only has one L, it doesn't have two L's. So, welcome only has one L, not two L's. All right. All right, let's look at the next one. It says shirts, two for the price of one. So, shirts, two for the price of one. We need to correct that one error. Shirts, two for the price of one. And this is basically the same example that we made earlier on. Shirts, two for the price of one. The same example that we did earlier. All right, yes. So basically, two, it's like you're going. But if we talk about two for the price of one, then it means that we're talking about two in number. All right. All right, let's look at the next one. It says school board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. School board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. So, school board meeting tonight at 7 p.m. We need to correct our one error within that sentence. I don't know why is it always option one, but bored, right? If we look at this word bored, B-O-R-E-D, if we look at this word bored, then this word bored is like saying, like I am so bored, I am so tired, I don't even feel like being here. That is what that word board means, right? But if we talk about the school board meeting, and then we need to use this word, which is BOARD for board meeting. This one board is like, I am tired, I don't want to be here, I don't even feel like being here, right? So it's the meanings are different. Yes, the spelling is the same, and the pronunciation is the same, but the meanings are different. All right, yeah, it says we no longer accept personal checks. We no longer accept personal checks or accept. We no longer accept personal checks. This is an example that we made earlier on. So which one do we need to correct before I go to the options? What do we need to correct before I go to the options? We no longer accept personal checks. Yes, and if we were to choose our correct option, then accept is correct. Because remember, we said that this word accept, it's like it's like you're saying excluding. So this word accept, EXCEPT, it's like we are saying excluding that, right? Whereas our word accept, which is ACCEPT, it's like receiving something, right? It's like we take something. So now they say we no longer accept, meaning they don't take it anymore, right? Personal checks. So well done. Accept is correct. Well done. All right, the next one says professional signs and lettering. Professional signs and lettering. We need to correct that one error. Professional signs and lettering. We need to correct that one error. And if we were to choose the correct option, as into where the error or the mistake is, and then we will say it is signs. Because remember, we said that signs, it shows, it's supposed to be plural for signs without the apostrophe, because once you add the apostrophe, and then it means that it shows possession. It's almost like it's belonging to something or belonging to someone. It's like own that somebody or something owns something. So if they say provisional signs, that means that it is more than one sign, right? So option one, it's plural. All right. Now we're going to correct errors in everyday use. We're going to correct errors in everyday use. All right, so we need to correct one error, right? By looking at the signs. It says your dog or your dog keeps jumping into our pool. Well, to be fair, he is a Portuguese water dog. If we look at that conversation, what is the one error within that conversation? What is the error by that conversation or that chat? So your dog keeps jumping into our pool. Well, to be fair, he is a Portuguese water dog. We need to correct our one error. What do you think is the one error over there? All right. And if we look at the sign, if we look at the conversation, right, that these basically the neighbors are having. And then if you look at the first one, not fair, look at this first one. If you look at that word that I just underlined, right? This word, right? This is a contraction and this means you are. So your means you are. So now if we look at that word you are or your, does mean is that correct? Because it says you are dog keeps jumping into our pool, right? It says you are dog keep jumping into our pool. Your dog keeps jumping into our pool. So which means that this word yeah is incorrect because it's like your dog, referring specifically to the person. Your dog keeps jumping in a pool, not you are dog, right? So your is incorrect. So here it is. It says your should be changed to your because your is a contraction for you are. Your is a possessive pronoun that means belonging to you. It is your dog that jumps in our pool. All right. The next one says we need to correct one error. You know it's Monday when your pen just randomly explodes. You know it's Monday when your pen just randomly explodes. If you look at that, I don't know if it's a Facebook, Twitter, or something post. If you look at that, what do you think is our error that we have within that sentence? What word is the error over there? So we need to choose the correct word that shows an error. You know it's Monday when your pen just randomly explodes. And if we were to choose the correct error or to find the error or identify that error, then we can say it is it's. Because that word it's should be, it is. That is, we need this word actually. So this one is incorrect. It should have been it's with an apostrophe s, right? Because that word it's, right, it shows possession belonging to it. But it's is a contraction, which is that should be it apostrophe s for it is. It's like saying it is Monday when your pen randomly starts exploding. All right, so now let's go to our test where we are going to correct errors in everyday use. It says when when are you coming back? I could use some help preparing for the party. I totally forgot that all of your cousins is coming too. So I had to go back to the store. So I'm going to read it again. It says we need to correct one error. When are you coming back? I could use some help preparing for the party. I totally forget that all of your cousins is coming too. So I had to go back to the store. We need to correct one error. Before I scroll down to show the options, what do you think is the error within that text or conversation or message or DM? So which one is correct? Which one is incorrect? So we need to choose the correct option. Exactly. Well done. So which means that it is meant to be are. Because we don't say my cousins is. If you make mention of more than one cousin, then you say are. If you only say your cousin, only one cousin, then you say your cousin is. But if you say more than one, then you say are. So option one is are. Well done. All right. Oh, it's a different one. It says, when when are you coming back? I could use some help preparing for the party. I don't think this word is supposed to be here. I totally forgot that all of your cousins is coming too. So I had to go back to the store. This word and the picture does not match. All right, the next one says, your dog keeps jumping into our pool. Well, to be fair, he is a Portuguese water dog. We need to correct the one error. Is it option one, your, or option two, yours? Which one is correct? So your dogs keep jumping into our pool. Well, to be fair, he is a Portuguese water dog. And if we were to choose the correct option, in option one, it's your. Right? Yes, so your is correct. You see, this one's is the pictures is not matching the wording, right? So the picture's not matching the wording. I'm going to choose the correct one and then I'm going to go to the next one. Ah, this is telling me the same thing. All right. Okay, that is not the end of our lesson on usage errors, right? And remember we said usage errors with English, there is different we have different words, we have different spellings, pronunciations. Some of the words, pronunciations, spellings of the words might be different. However, the meanings are also different, right? Or they might be the same, sorry, but the meanings are different. So you need to know how and when to use a specific word, right? And how to identify if it is an error, just like we did now, right? So this is now the end of our lesson on usage errors. Thank you very much for joining the class. Thank you very much for interacting. And I really hope that you do have a better understanding of the different words, different pronunciation of the words, different spellings of the words, but the meanings are different. All right, so you must have a good evening further. So till next time, goodbye.